Boom! Hey internets. Wanted to make a quick video because this has been coming up a little bit. So I have a ton of friends that are YouTubers, obviously because of the channel that you guys are watching right now. And when I meet, I've met a lot of them from the YouTube space. LA, which I'm at, relatively frequently when I have a chance to go. And all my YouTuber friends and influencers have way more subscribers and followers than me. A lot of times I'll end up by default talking about the business of it and like brand deals and how people are putting a lot of things together to monetize on it. Because a lot of people who come from an artist mentality, which is very, very common, because the craft a lot of times ends up being making the video or document what you're doing. So if you're a musician, an artist, even visual artists, dancers are huge on Instagram, and I'm a huge fan of Dietrich's, and they turn the video into an art form of kind of what they do. It's almost like its own entity, its own category. So, don't let me, I can go on and on. So I'm stoked to be a part of what YouTube and what video and social media and technology is fusing with real life in order to create opportunity for people. So a lot of times I'll end up talking about business because the creative aspect is always fun. But much like my design life, as when I made the leap to become a director of brands rather than just a designer, you learn to look at things in a completely different way, right? And so when I launched my actual brand that ended up failing in 2007, my education was much bigger in the things I didn't know in terms of brand management and leadership and sales and how to work with accounting and QuickBooks and all the things that I didn't know. And so it just made me open in the end to a whole lot of other possibilities. And, answering the question, well, how do I get paid from this? And so a lot of my friends that I meet in the social media kind of landscape never think about merch as a way, or they do, but it's maybe too difficult, or the resources that are available now were not available back then. So as I'm posting this, I just got the announcement probably a month ago that Teespring has officially partnered with YouTube, and so that says a lot. So if you look up Teespring on YouTube or Google it, you'll see that they offer the ability to basically produce and ship designs so that you can offer merch. And Teespring is not the only one. There's a whole bunch of other companies, a slew of companies that offer the production and then the shipping of the product. So it's sort of a service era where a lot of people have the following, but they don't have time to kind of cater to the following. And so for me, the way it's impacted me as well is a lot of my clientele now are people looking for merch. So they're the aforementioned, they're influencers, they're musicians, or they're doing some kind of like they're commenting on a movie or a theme or a genre, and that's their whole following, and they have like 500,000 followers just with that. And so if you're in that camp and category, a lot of times I'll end up being able to quickly analyze the situation, say, oh, you're leaving money on the table for merch, right? And so besides using a lot of these other platforms that are solving the problem for a lot of people, I get a lot of project work and contracted work specifically for these groups, artists, or management of to develop clothing, right? It's like I did a merch for Anuel AA, which is a super popular Latin music artist, and so we developed designs for his tour, but on a comprehensive level, we could do that for like anyone. So and this is not a plug for that. I got a ton of work on my plate, and the opportunities because of this channel, and you and along with whoever else is watching this, I ended up getting emailed. Or contacted or DM'd or something by pretty decent companies. So it's not a commercial for that. I don't need that. But it's interesting to see how the growth of that has happened in the landscape in general. But the point I want to bring out to you guys to give you value for this video is a lot of times you're leaving money on the table because if you do something that's maybe obscure or not quite it's not quite something people have seen before. A lot of times, if you have a big following, if you just offer a little product where you get a good margin, I mean, you can monetize off it, and it's not like you're killing people with something. I mean, a lot of the times people right off the bat think about t-shirts. So if you don't want to charge $30 for a t-shirt per se, you know, maybe you can offer a keychain or something that you can create easily with like a promo company, or, you know, or maybe you have the numbers in order to do real cut and sew and develop something more substantial and actually put a calendar around it so you could test what items people are actually buying. But there's a couple case studies. I'm going to bring up Logan Paul. Not necessarily a fan of all of his videos, but definitely a fan of the Paul brothers for their business prowess and how they attack it aggressively. But if you look at what he's done with Maverick by Logan Paul, and these guys get a lot of hate for pushing merch down the kids' throats, and I get that, I see that. But what I'm trying to case study here is that they see the business viability of it, and they're pushing it, arguably pushing it too much or whatever. I'm not here for that fight. What I'm saying is it is definitely a case study of mine for the potential of the kind of work you could do with a brand and offering merch. And it doesn't have to be t-shirts and hoodies. That's a thing that people will want though. But you know, you can get creative with a lot of products that you're able to offer. So this is probably not to my normal subscriber on my channel, but merch can be a key for bringing in more income for a lot of my guys that are doing something completely new in the space of being an influencer and don't know how to make money on it, and they hate their day job, like whatever that day job is. In any case, just food for thought of ways to think of. And if you start researching what is out there and what people are offering, it's a whole new way that you can bring in a good amount into the repertoire if you already have an empire and are doing well. Just like the aforementioned. Hope that helps. Any other questions, please drop them all down below. If you're new to my channel, you can browse one of my 500 videos on apparel design, production, marketing, brand management, and of course, anything to do with launching your brand and getting it out there. All right. See you guys on the next one. Bye.